The rain in London does not just fall, it claims you. Elias felt it soaking through his thin windbreaker as he leaned in his bike against the glass facade of Sterling and Associates. He was not supposed to be inside, but the delivery required a signature from the top floor. He looked at the towering atrium, a cathedral of steel and ego, and felt the familiar sting of being a ghost in a world built by giants. In the corner of the lobby sat Arthur, a man whose name was once etched into the very foundations of the city, now reduced to a permanent fixture in a leather armchair that no one else dared to sit in. He watched the young courier with eyes that had seen every skyscraper rise and every secret fall. Elias did not just deliver the package, he stopped. He stared at the blueprint spread across the reception desk, a flawed design for a new bridge. Without thinking, he pulled a charcoal pencil from his pocket and made three small marks on the margin. A silent correction to a structural imbalance only a genius or a madman would notice. Arthur saw it. He did not call security. He smiled for the first time in a decade. The next morning, Sloane found the marks. She assumed it was a prank, a defacement by a common messenger. She ordered the Vandal banned. But Arthur, using the last of his fading influence, intervened. He did not tell her Elias was a genius. He told her the boy was his new assistant. For months, a shadow dance played out by day. Elias wore a borrowed suit, enduring Sloane's constant attempts to strip him up with technical jargon he had not learned in a classroom. She treated him like an interloper, a stain on the firm's prestige, but by night, in a dusty basement archives, Arthur mentored him. They did not talk about math, they talked about the soul of a building. Arthur saw in Elias the son he never had, and Elias saw in Arthur the permission to dream he'd never been given. The climax arrived not with a picnic, but a crisis. A structural failure was discovered in the firm's flagship project, a stadium hallway through construction. Sloane panicked, her pedigree failing her as the numbers refused to align. The board was ready to settle for millions in loans. Elias stepped forward. He did not use a computer. He used a piece of charcoal and the back of a discarded envelope. He showed them that the error was not in the steel but in the soil, a geological detail everyone had overlooked because they were too busy looking at the sky. Sloane tried to dismiss him, mocking him lack of a degree in front of the investors, but Arthur stood up. His voice echoed with the authority of a legend. He did not defend Elias resume, he defended his vision. The twist was not just that Elias saved the project, it was the discovery that Arthur had been secretly funding a scholarship for unconventional talent in Elias' name for months, ensuring that no one could ever use the word uncertified against him again. The ending was not a wedding or a move to this country. It was a crisp autumn morning. Elias, now a junior partner, stood on the balcony of the completed stadium. Beside him was Arthur, looking not at the building, but at the boy who had given him a reason to step back into the light. Sloane was gone, replaced by a culture that looked at the hands that built, not just the names on the door. Elias looked at his charcoal-stained fingers and realized he was no longer a ghost. He was the architect of his own life.